The TAPPS 2013-2014 Soccer Championships are at Audi International in Houston, and the best teams in the state are battling it out for a coveted gold medal. Kickoff is coming up next on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. It's time now to move to Division I action in the girls' championship game. Two teams from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, two district rivals, Bishop Lynch and Ursuline, playing for a state championship in Houston at Audi International School. I'm Pete Stein, along with Sam Irwin. Bishop Lynch comes into this game against Ursuline, maybe understandably a little bit exhausted after having to play overtime in order to advance to this title game. They have beaten Houston Duchesne 9-0. They beat San Antonio Antonian 7-0. Then that 2-1 overtime win over John Paul II yesterday.
Hard-fought battle. People to watch on Bishop Lynch, though, is going to be Natalie Madanu. She's a midfielder, a junior going to Missouri when she graduates. But Bishop Lynch is just a stacked team. 5 different players are going to be D1 bound on that squad.
Casey Tillman and Allison Ganter scored the goals yesterday. Ganter with a penalty kick late in overtime to win that game for Bishop Lynch. But now they try to wrestle away the trophy from Ursuline. They've owned it for the last couple of decades. They've defeated St. Agnes, Argyle Liberty Christian, and they beat Fort Worth Nolan 3-0. Madison Haley with a hat trick yesterday. But Katie Lund has really been the leader on this team.
Lund sets everything up. Holly can't really do anything unless Lund is giving her the passes up front. She's a senior, she's a midfielder, she's a leader in the heart of this Ursuline team.
Ursuline trying to repeat once again as a state champion, and kickoff is coming up next on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. We're at Audi International School. Bishop Lynch and Ursuline getting ready to play for the TAPPS Division I Girls State Championship. The coin toss taking place at midfield. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. Emma McCready will be in goal for the Lady Bears. In the back, it'll be Chaikin, Gasper, Danko, Ollinger, and Trevino. In the midfield, Lund, Haidu, and then McHugh, Frankie, and Arenas, the 3 forwards for the defending champions from Ursuline Academy in Dallas. Taking a look now at the starting lineup for Bishop Lynch, Micah McKay getting the start in goal. In the back, it's Huerta, Hanks, and Mashana. In the midfield, Morton, McDonough, Curtis, and Cruz. Ganter, Tillman, and Butler will play up front. Tillman getting a goal in the game last night, and then of course it was Ganter scoring on the penalty kick. Gus Acosta, the man in the middle, Mario Perez and Juan Adan helping out along the lines, the assistant referees today. So it is two teams very familiar with one another. They face off twice every year, regularly scheduled games, and now they're meeting for the state championship.
Yeah, we talked to both coaches yesterday, and they're talking about how one of their meetings this year actually happened in sub-20 degree weather. So a lot of battles during the season. They're probably both really happy to have this beautiful weather we have today.
Ursuline won the girls' championship last year, defeating Houston St. Agnes in the title game right on this very pitch at Audi International 2-0 today. Temperatures warming up to 68 degrees, winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies here in Houston. We do have a 30% chance of rain in the forecast, but the weatherman has assured us that that's coming later tonight, for whatever a weatherman's assurances are worth. But we've been, so far, dry all day. We've already crowned the Division II champions here today, and now we are down to the final 2 games, the Division I championship games for both the girls and the boys. This is Ursuline Academy taking on Bishop Lynch. Lynch in the white kit. Lynch is without several players who had major contributions yesterday. Taylor Haynes, the sophomore forward, not in the starting lineup, and Jamie Jeffrey was red carded in the game yesterday for Bishop Lynch, so she's ineligible for this championship contest. That's got to be heartbreaking for Jeffrey, who is one of the 5 players destined to play Division I soccer. It
was kind of an out-of-nowhere red card given to Jeffrey. I think she deserved it. She was battling for the ball, ended up getting another player's hair in her hand and pulled it down, and the referee didn't waste any time pulling out the red card. But you always hate to see players have to sell out the championship game after working all year to get to this point. Casey
Tillman scored the first goal for Lynch yesterday in the 8th minute, and then Ganter with that PK with 3:32 left in overtime. We're underway. Bishop Lynch has possession as they take on the defending champions from Ursuline Academy. And the Bears waste little time getting it into Friar territory. Atu Mashana, who is headed to Texas, in the back for Bishop Lynch, getting that header, but unable to clear it. And now moving in is Kate Haidu. At the top of the D, it is laid back for Chaikin, and she sends it over the goal and hits one of the TAPPS banners behind the goal.
I think both these teams are pretty evenly matched. They both want to play a good game through the midfield where they're keeping the ball on the ground, and both have really solid defenses to go with it.
It was Madison Haley who came off the bench yesterday, the freshman, to score the hat trick with goals in the 56th, 74th, and 77th minutes for the Bears. Nearing the end of the first minute of play.
Like, one interesting thing to watch in this is Ursuline has so much experience in this game. As we talked about, almost 2 decades of just owning this tournament and owning Division I girls league. How can Bishop Lynch match that experience and, you know, do things on their end that can help them win?
This is Katie McHugh trying to win the ball away now from Caitlin Curtis. Curtis knocks it into Bears territory, but there's Isabel Trevino. Sent up the channel as it's kept in play by the Bears. And Bishop Lynch on the attack with Jackie Cruz. McDonough with a shot, couldn't catch all of it, and it's McCready diving to the ground to cover it up. And so McCready gets tested here in the second minute.
Yeah, you're right. McDonough gets it in a really good place on the field. Just couldn't put anything behind it. Nice teamwork there, spreading the ball around, making sure everyone has a touch.
Cruz is the player that is shaken up on the play. She's the one that initially got it into the area, and it was McDonough who got the shot.
Be sure to keep an eye on Casey Tillman in this game as well, number 9 for Bishop Lynch. You talked about her in the open, Pete, but she has a lot of strength in her, can hold off defenders, but she is fast as lightning and can just run past defenders. Bishop Lynch with 5 players already committed to Division I schools. We mentioned Atu Mashana headed to Texas. Natalie McDonough headed to Missouri. Jamie Jeffrey, who got the red card yesterday, is bound for Tulsa. Casey Tillman has committed to Florida State, and Allison Ganter, the hero on the PK last night, headed to TCU. So certainly a talented side from Dallas, facing an old nemesis led by Darren Hedges, who you see there in the center of your screen. Free kick for Ursuline, sent out of their end by Chaikin. Throw in from halfway for Katie Lund. Lund throws it up the right side, trying to make a connection with McHugh. It's held in by Butler along the touchline. McHugh wins it back, gets it to Haidu. Comes back to Lund now, plays it square to Chaikin. And Bishop Lynch clears to halfway. In their game yesterday against Fort Worth Nolan, the Bears were able to really dominate possession. Yeah, dominating possession is really their style of play. That's how they're going to build up and get on the attack, is playing those through balls.
Free kick coming up for Samantha Chaikin, the senior defenseman. She's got 5 targets inside the 18, all lined up on the left side. As she makes the approach, they rush toward the 6-yard box. She got it inside the 6, but it gets cleared away by the Friar defense. They get it out to Tillman, who's got great speed, but she never has a chance to really possess it here. Sent back in by the Bears, and scooting over to her left is Micah McKay, and she scoops it up with pressure coming.
Great job by Chaikin on that last free kick, actually putting it in a place where her teammates can try to finish it. We've seen all weekend that from that position on the field, straight on with the goal, a lot of people having trouble sending services in.
Haidu, the midfielder, gets up holding her head after a collision in the midfield, but appears to be okay. Lund with a throw in. Haidu goes down again, getting tangled up with Natalie McDonough. Ganter trying to win possession, unable to do so, and Ursuline is pressing forward. out of play. It'll be a throw in here for Emmy Frankie. Frankie putting it at the feet of Arenas. Chipped back in by Chaikin. No opportunity forthcoming for the Bears. The chase is on for the loose ball. On the left side of the Bears defense, getting there first is Natalie McDonough. She gets it to Mashana. Mashana sending it ahead to Tillman in the center circle. It's played to Katie Morgan in the center circle. Now stepping up is Curtis, driving it to the right side. Morton making a run up the channel, but she has little chance to get there. Megan Denko is the closest to it for the Bears as it goes out of play.
Speaking of Curtis, who sent that last ball up, she started off yesterday on the back line for Bishop Lynch, being one of the two center backs. Then they moved her up into the midfield. That's where she started today's game. We'll have to see if they move her back at some point or keep her there.
McCarty with the goal kick. Friars fighting for possession in Bears territory. Still a mad scramble for possession. It is sent into space. Chased down by Casey Butler. The Friars have it in their own territory. Sent back to Mashana by Huerta. Curtis right up the middle. Cruz with a nice one-touch pass to McDonough. Tillman plays it. And then it's sent in by Ganter. Tillman has it, getting inside the 18. Fires! And it's just a little bit high.
See why Tillman's so dangerous. Not only does she have the speed, but just great power on those shots. Gets it at a good position and then fires it in from the 18-yard box. That's some heat on that one. You know, on that last series too, great job by Jackie Cruz, number 8 for Bishop Lynch, was making really good runs, and that's what opened up Tillman.
Yeah, Cruz created the first opportunity for Bishop Lynch, the McDonough shot early in the game. So Cruz is off to a good start, and she's getting tangled up here with Lund along the touchline, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Lady Friars. It'll be put in play by Casey Butler. Butler to Cruz, hit Cruz in the buttocks, and goes out. Here's a throw in for the Bears. Arenas to Haidu, who lifts it up, an aerial sent down the right channel. This is Mashana trying to shield it, and she's got the throw in for the Friars. Tell you what, Mashana is a good all-around player, headed to the University of Texas. She's just fundamentally sound. She knows the game.
Yeah, I was just kind of chuckling because you're not going to get around her in that position. Once she decides that she's going to block you away from the ball, that's pretty much over.
Off the head of McDonough, it's Tillman who wins the ball in the center circle. She's able to get around Trevino. Tillman trying to slide it forward, has it deflected, and it gets cleared by Gasper. Curtis to Tillman. This is Butler on the left side. McHugh coming up from behind to knock it away. The Bears unable to get out of their own end as Cruz holds it in. Cruz on the left side of the area looking for some support. She'll play it back out to Ganter. And then it's Haidu who steps up and wins the ball for the Bears and moves into the midfield, moving up the right side, gets past Curtis. Haidu playing it into space, looking for a supporting run on the left side, knotted down by Chaikin. Chaikin gets to the 18, and then Mashana knocks it off Chaikin across the byline, earning the goal kick for the Friars. We're in a scoreless tie, moving into the 9th minute.
Chaikin made a nice run. It's a shame she couldn't do anything with the ball once she got it, but there you see Katie Haidu sending the ball across, changing the point of attack. That's why she's so important to the Ursuline team, her vision and the ability to make those passes.
The goal kick is driven toward midfield, but it is headed by Chaikin. The chase is on for the ball, but it's going to go across the touchline, and it'll be a throw-in for Bishop Lynch. It's a popcorn match, no doubt about it. Two high-quality teams playing for the state championship as we move into the 10th minute. This will be a throw in for Ashley Hanks. Well, now Hanks is going to surrender the ball and let Huerta put it in play. Official had stopped the clock momentarily, but now the clock is running again. Curtis to Ganter. To McDonough. McDonough moving up the middle, trying to shake Haidu. And then Christina Stack, who's come in as a substitute, got dispossessed. The Bears not able to get it out of their own end cleanly. Tillman keeps it in play along the touchline. Tillman approaching the 18, lays it for McDonough. McDonough inside the box, contact with Haidu, and the flag went up as it was cleared for a foul.
As good as McDonough is shooting the ball, I'm surprised she didn't just one-time that from the top of the 18 after Tillman laid it out for her. Was in a good place. Instead, tried to take a touch around the defender and loses control.
Less than a half hour remaining in the first half of this girls Division I TAPPS State Championship game.
Madison Haley, who you just saw on your screen in the game, had that hat trick yesterday. You can see she's a big, strong forward with a lot of speed, and she's a great finisher.
Yeah, don't be fooled by her being a substitute. She'll play starters minutes here today in all likelihood, as she did yesterday coming off the bench. She came in at about the 10-minute mark of both halves. This is Tillman firing. A big, juicy rebound for Cruz, and Cruz rolls it in, but it is scooped up by Emma McCready, who makes 2 saves, keeping this a scoreless tie.
Bishop Lynch off to one of the best starts they could have hoped for. You see Tillman again with a powerful shot in. A great save that time, though, to keep it out of the net. Tillman's had a few chances early with a couple of good looks, just hasn't been able to put anything in the back of the net.
Haidu trying to get it to Lund. Instead, sends it across the touchline, and it'll be a throw in for the Friars. With just under 29 minutes remaining in the first half, Emma Kidd, a sophomore midfielder, seeing playing time in part because Jamie Jeffrey not able to play today because of the red card. This is Lund for the Bears. That goes over the head of Ashley Hanks. And here's Haley, who had the hat trick yesterday, getting to the 18, firing from there, and a save made on the other end by Micah McKay, the keeper, just a sophomore, but a veteran presence back there for the Friars, who are 23-1-1 coming into this game, in part because they've had great goaltending from both McKay and Scott.
You can see the technique that time out of Haley as well. Just going full speed, able to stop on a dime, pulls the ball back and gets away a shot.
The Bears will have the ball with 28 minutes remaining in the first half. A free kick out of their own end. Catherine Gasper to take this free kick. Gasper with a low liner, a flat ball that skips past Arenas. Is that a handball call against Bishop Lynch, giving the Bears a free kick now just outside the finishing third?
Yeah, Caitlin Curtis was trying to chest it down. It took a funny bounce, and she kind of did that wing thing where you stick your elbow out and try to stop it. Referee caught it right away.
Samantha Chaikin ready to deliver this free kick. Again, they line up 5 targets on the left side of the area, and then they move toward the 6 as the free kick comes in. Haley went up for the header, but no shot. Flag up.
Yeah, it looked like some extracurriculars happening inside of the box.
McKay was able to handle it anyway.
I was going to say, you didn't see much on that replay.
Bishop Lynch unable to win the ball cleanly in the midfield, and they give up a throw-in for the Bears. Katie Lund chasing this one down, ready to restart play with the throw-in.
Bishop Lynch has been the aggressor so far, but I think that's kind of the MO for Ursuline. Even yesterday against Dolan, it took them a good half to really get going and start scoring goals.
Lund to Arenas. Arenas got a head on it but couldn't keep it in play with Madison Haley in the neighborhood. McDonough got a head on it for Bishop Lynch, and now it's headed by Kidd. Kidd trying to keep this one in play, but it's over the touchline. Ollinger with a throw in up the right side, headed by Arenas. Curtis is back there to chest it for the Friars. Settles it, sends it up the channel, but it's intercepted by Lund. Lund moving in. Settled by Haley at the top of the D. Sets it up for the left-footed shot from Chaikin that hit the crossbar.
Another great save that time by McKay. Young goalkeeper, but playing with a lot of experience. It was a good job by Chaikin just to even get this shot off and on target. You see McKay just kind of taps it into the crossbar.
Haley has the ball at the edge of the attacking third. Skims off the boot of Arenas. McKay will trap that one and control it inside her own box with 25 minutes to play in the first half.
We've seen it this weekend, but that crossbar can be a goalkeeper's best friend at times, especially if you can't quite get to a ball to catch it. You can just use it to flip it into it.
Curtis has it for Bishop Lynch. Sends it across halfway, looking for Cruz. It's taken away by Haidu. Tillman not able to win the ball for Bishop Lynch. Now Lund battling Kidd. Tillman comes in there to poke it loose. It goes to Ganter. Ganter gets it to Cruz. Cruz moves up the center forward channel, but it goes behind Tillman. Cruz still giving chase as it's in the left side of the area, and then it gets cleared into safety by Megan Ollinger. Substitution will be made here for Bishop Lynch. Friars bring on new personnel before the Kidd throw in. Kidd on the left side gets it to Ganter. That's Kinsey Morgan who just came in. Now McDonough with the blast from 19 yards out and sends that one high over the goal. Goal kick coming up here. Taylor Haynes has come into the game. The sophomore forward has a lot of speed. Comes in as a substitute for Bishop Lynch.
Yesterday she started, and her working up front with Tillman was very dangerous just because of the speed that both of them have combined.
Huerta not able to get it to Kidd. It's a throw in for the Bears in their own territory. .22.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. This is Gasper sending it into Friar territory. Huerta trying to shield off Arenas and does so successfully. McDonough watches it sail over her head. She can't make a play on it. And now Haidu plays it to Arenas for the Bears. Huerta steps up to win the ball for the Friars. McDonough sends it in the air, looking for either Tillman or Haynes. It's at the 18 and rolling into the hands of Emma McCready.
A bit of danger there. He had Tillman chasing on it. I think Ursuline thought that the ball was going to move a little bit faster. Can't ever underestimate the speed of Tillman, though.
Lund with an aerial into space, hoping that Haynes can get there. Bashana shielding off Haynes as it bounces out of play. A throw in for the Friars. It's a scoreless tie, but we haven't lacked for action here. It's been back and forth up and down the field.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think there's a feeling out process necessarily, but sometimes teams are just so familiar with each other that it's hard to really get the edge early. McDonough to Ganter.
That skims off the head of Morton, and it comes back to Mashana, who gets it to Kidd. Kidd moving toward the middle to Ganter. Ganter into the center circle for Tillman. Tillman accelerating into Bears territory. Trying to get it to Haynes, but it's blocked. It's at the feet of Haidu, who finds Arenas. Trying to play it back to Haidu, but it's Ganter getting it to Kidd, moving up the left side. Plays it into space. It gets inside the 18, but no real pressure on the Bears keeper, Emma McCready. Haynes trying to win the ball away from Lund, but Lund gets away. Now Ganter steps up, and now it's Chaikin sending it across halfway. Sticking out the right foot is Ashley Hanks. Haynes plays it into space along the left side. Making a run up that wing is Emmy Frankie. She goes down. The ball goes out of play. Stack might have had a chance to play that. I think she thought it was going to be a throw in for the Friars. Instead, it's the Bears who have it. And a substitution being made here by Ursuline Academy. Entering the game now is Peyton Steiner. The junior saw quite a bit of action in the semifinal game on Friday. And immediately Steiner receives this throw in. Huerta there marking. Getting help from Christina Stack. And then Morton clears it out, but chested down by Chaikin. Chaikin lifts this one all the way in. Look out, this could be trouble, but it's McKay moving to, or pardon me, not McKay, but Micah McKay moving to her left. The sophomore keeper cradles it.
We've seen Chaikin already send in a couple of very dangerous crosses. That's something to watch as this game goes on. She has that touch working for her today.
We got McKay on one end and McCready on the other. So far, the game's been magnificent. Scoreless tie with less than 19 minutes to play.
This is definitely one of those exciting 0-0 games. Sometimes you watch a game, no goals are happening, and a guy gets in a null, but these two teams really going all out and a lot of action on both ends.
Ollinger ready for the throw in, but only after the substitution is made here as Alexis Sheldon enters the game, taking the place of Emmy Frankie. Frankie, the senior, giving way to the junior Sheldon. It was interesting talking to Allie Doss about this unbelievable expectation at Ursuline. If you don't win a championship, it's almost a disappointment. They haven't dealt with disappointment much recently. They own the championship, and they actually talk about that pressure. It's not something they try to hide from.
I thought that was really interesting how she said that, where she's not going to let her players just boil about or keep it to themselves. They make it out in the open. They use each other for support. It really is a motivator, though, for these girls. I mean, knowing that you come from a school that's won the championship this many years in a row now, it can be a lot of pressure, but once you talk to it, it almost becomes a motivator.
And they always seem to play their best in the postseason, and that was evident yesterday against Fort Worth Nolan, and having to play another district rival now, Bishop Lynch, with the state title on the line. Just over 17 minutes to play in the first half.
And beating a Nolan team that had beat them twice in the regular season.
Haidu with the cross. Mashana in the 6-yard box, trying to keep it away from Haley. Kidd and Haidu battling for it. Kidd will head it out of play. It's going to be a corner kick for the Bears. I don't think that's what Emma Kidd had in mind.
Yesterday, Ursuline couldn't really take advantage of their corner kicks. They had good service, just couldn't get a clean hit on anything in the direction of the net. Look for Madison Haley, though, number 3 for Ursuline. She's going to be making a strong run. They looked for her quite a bit yesterday on these.
Chaikin will put it down in the corner circle.
Also, Katie Haidu, the tall midfielder in the bunch, she can get up there above everyone else.
4 targets at the back post, headed into the 6-yard box. Bishop Lynch clearing it up but not out. Gasper there to play it in deep, and again, McKay is up to the challenge. McKay's a confident keeper.
She is, and you saw that time it was Haley and Haidu in the box fighting for that header. Haidu got the head on it, got the power behind it, just couldn't get it in the right spot.
Christina Stack, number 19, trying to win the ball, but it is sent back into Friar territory. Mashana redirects it to Ganter. This is Hanks, the center back, moving forward. Again, Mashana forced to chase it down. Mashana drives it off her own 18. It skips past McDonough, and then McDonough bumps into Samantha Chaikin along the touchline. Chaikin not very happy about that contact. Down to the final quarter hour of the first half, still waiting on one of these teams to break through with a goal.
See that replay, McDonough coming in fast, kind of gives a hard hip check that time to Chaikin.
Jackie Cruz coming back into the game, replacing Emma Kidd. Again, free substitution. You're not limited to a number of substitutions the way you would see in international soccer. We play 40-minute halves, and we count down. There's no stoppage time. Once we hit 0, that's the end of the half. Battle in the midfield, and it's won by Morgan. Then a foul called, and not happy with that is Madison Haley. Sent toward the 18, headed by Chaikin. Now Lund with a header, pops it straight up. 50-50 ball. Haidu gets there first. Ganter and Haidu battle, and that's going to be off of Ganter, but it's going to spin and stay in play. Ganter unable to trap it cleanly. Haidu presses forward, but then runs into Hanks. Now it's Chaikin and Haidu trying to move up the right side, but unable to penetrate through that Bishop Lynch defense, which has been so good all season long. Cruz puts this one high in the air. It's Haynes who gets there first. Haynes has time and space up the right side. Now facing the goal, chips it toward the area, but it's cleared off the 6-yard box. Back in the direction of Haynes, but it'll go out of play.
Good defense that time by Ursuline. Haynes gets it in good position, but the defender pushes her outside and pushes her outside and pushes her outside until she can't send in a good cross.
Ganter will get a breather now. Curtis will come back into the contest. At the feet of Tillman, but it skips past Tillman, never able to settle it down. The Bears send it into the midfield, but Morton has it, then Stack can't control it. Haley has it. Haidu making a run up the middle. Haidu's going to be shielded off the ball by Cruz, who turned it right back over to Haidu, trying to get it to Curtis. Haidu takes a shot. It sails over the goal. She lost her footing after delivering that shot.
Nice job by Haidu. You see her chasing down Cruz, uses the body to dispossess her from the ball, and then sends in a shot nowhere close on the shot. But, you know, it's kind of weird. We see this game so far, at least the first 30 minutes or so, it's very physical. You normally see this out of a boys game at this level, but these girls are playing very physical right now.
We saw that in the Ursuline game yesterday as well, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the teams that are having the most success in this tournament are the teams that play a little more physical brand of soccer. The finesse soccer may be more in line with the beautiful game, but you want to win? You got to have a little muscle.
Well, even talking to the Audi coaches today on the boys and the girls side, both said that they try to toughen up their teams during the season by scheduling some harder games, because once you get to the tournament, it becomes really physical and you have to be up to it.
Mashana gets it to McDonough. McDonough looking for Tillman, who's making a run up the inside right channel, inside the 18. Tillman hoping to have a chance at a shot, but it may be Haynes who gets the opportunity. Angling it, doesn't have much weight on that shot, And the angle's too sharp. It goes wide left.
You know Haynes has to be kicking herself right now. Had a great opportunity. The ball comes right out to her from Tillman and just can't get a solid foot on it.
Just didn't quite catch it as cleanly as she would have liked. Maybe a little bit rushed there. Keeper trying to get it to Lund, who chested in order to keep it in play, and then lifts it in the direction of Chaikin. Chaikin will trap it with the right thigh, control it, and lays it back to Gasper.
After that shot, Haynes actually goes out of the game, is replaced by Casey Butler, number 22 for Bishop Lynch.
Butler got the start today. This is Mashana driving it back toward the midfield with the right foot. Hajduk steps in to win it for the Bears, gets it to Lund, stepping in front of Butler. And Mashana again heading it, but right down to the feet of Haley. Haley always dangerous on the ball. Talk about physical play. She fends off Ashley Hanks. It's play on. Haley veering left, but not able to get into the finishing third. The Lady Bears will regroup. That's Curtis getting it to Tillman. Tillman buys herself some time, plays it to the left side. It's kept in play by Butler, and then Butler knocks it off Ollinger and gets a throw in for the Friars. Here's another look at the block a moment ago as Haley fends off Ashley Hanks.
Nothing really there. Haley just making a turn. She's a bigger player than Hanks, so I think naturally when Hanks runs into her, she fell down. See how strong Haley is there, though. She didn't even budge at that contact.
Ganter returns into the game for the Friars. Cruz getting a breather here with less than 9 minutes to play in the first half. Still a scoreless tie. Curtis settles it, sends it to the top of the D where Ganter got a foot on it. Tillman was hoping to have a play on it, but the Bears clear it. Curtis redirects it back toward the top of the D, above Tillman. And that's going to be gathered in by the keeper, Emma McCready.
Bishop Lynch is just relentless around the goal. They keep sending in shots and more players keep running into the box. They just want to keep it alive in there because they're confident they can put it in the back of the net.
Chaikin playing it back to Danko. Now Stack trying to win the ball along the touchline for Bishop Lynch. It'll be a throw in for the Bears. Arenas was there for Ursuline. There's a look at the head coach, Allie Doss, pacing the sideline, hoping that her team can once again lift the trophy at the end of the day here. But in a really tough, tight battle with a familiar foe, the Friars of Bishop Lynch, with 7:45 to play in the first half. Ursuline is in deep and will have a throw in. It'll be put in play by Sheldon. Sheldon bounces one in the direction of Haley. Haley backing in on Hanks. Huerta trying to clear it, but unsuccessfully. Mashana will let the keeper, McKay, scoop it up. McKay takes her time, allowing her teammates to get downfield before she drives it to midfield with a punt. Past the halfway mark. Searching for Tillman. That gets headed by Ollinger. Ollinger unable to keep it in play. Tillman wanting to restart play quickly with this throw in. It's at the feet of Butler, who plays it square to Curtis. Up the middle to McDonough. McDonough to Tillman. Tillman settles it, plays it back to Curtis. Curtis lifts it over the head of McDonough, who chases it down on the left side. Will have control of it in the corner. Back to Butler. Butler sends it in, but no real threat to McCready and the Ursuline Academy Bears. It'll be a throw in for Bishop Lynch with 6:20 to play here in the first half.
Ursuline's had some chances, but I think Bishop Lynch has been the real aggressor so far in this first half.
It's been a pretty even match throughout. Lund bumped into Tillman from behind. No foul forthcoming. Friar fans not happy about the lack of a call. Mashana chases this one down in her own end. Gets it to Curtis. Bishop Lynch moving into the attacking third. McDonough not able to get it to Tillman. Mashana able to keep it in Bear territory momentarily, but it's Haidu coming across halfway where she runs into Mashana. Given back to Haidu, marked now by Butler. Haidu shows off her skill, gets it to Haley. Plays it with the outside of her boot to get it back to Haidu. Steiner trying to feed Haidu, but too much weight on the pass. And now it's Tillman in midfield for Bishop Lynch. A collision there. Tillman maintains possession as the official says play on. Tillman loses her balance. It'll be a free kick right from the middle of the ballpark.
Again, physical play really dominating this first half.
5 minutes to play. First half, Caitlin Curtis, the sophomore midfielder, who's had a strong day today, helping Bishop Lynch transition. And now she drives this free kick all the way to the top of the box. It comes out to Butler on the left side. Butler sends it back in, but it's a harmless ball that's headed to Lund by Ollinger. Back to Ollinger, to Haidu, back to Ollinger. Tillman pressures Ollinger, who plays it to Lund. Lund trying to move up the channel, runs into Tillman. Free kick for the Bears.
Both,
4:10 remaining.
Both teams are just so good at passing right now, even in the attacking third when it gets a lot more difficult to find those passing lanes. They're completing a lot of passes. One of them's going to get a really good shot on goal soon, though, you would think, as well as they're passing it.
Gasper with a free kick out of her own end for the Bears. A lot of backspin on this ball that goes past Haidu. Haley has it. Chaikin sends one straight up in the air. Haley and Curtis battling for a 50-50 ball, and the foul on Haley gives Curtis a free kick. The Friars send 6 across halfway. Ganter is the intended target. Morton is there. Now Stack trying to maintain possession, but it's Sheldon who plays it ahead for the Bears. Just over 3 minutes to play in the Division I Girls TAPPS State Championship game. Butler can't control it with the first touch, plays it into space. Doesn't have any support down that left side, and Ursuline will have a throw in. Substitutions preparing to come into the game. Looks like McDonough and Timmons will get a breather here. Taylor Haynes is going to come back into the game, as well as Jackie Cruz for Bishop Lynch. Here's the throw in for Ollinger to Haidu. Ganter there defensively along with Butler. Haidu drives it across the center stripe, headed by Mashana. Right to Chaikin. Mashana again steps up. But a foul and a free kick for the Bears just beyond halfway into Friar territory. It'll be Catherine Gasper, the junior defenseman, with the free kick with 1:45 remaining. Chaikin moving into position. One of 6 targets inside the 18. Right at the top of the D, it's loose, and it's Mashana who clears it up but not out. Sent back into the 18. Again, the Friars frantically trying to get that ball cleared but unable to do it. Now it's on Cruz's boot. Chaikin from distance. It skips into the hands of the keeper, Micah McKay.
Ursuline really does stack that box whenever they have a penalty kick, and it's really going to open them up to a good counterattack if Bishop Lynch can just get the right balance for themselves one time and take off down the field.
Ganter heads it. Haynes able to chest it down and gets it back from Stack, moving up the touch line. And then it is sent out of play by Isabel Trevino, the freshman defender. Less than 40 seconds remaining now as the Friars look to put this in play. Bears coming out of their own end. Arenas hoping to make one final push before the whistle sounds, ending the first half. The Bears have it in their own territory with only 20 seconds remaining. Curtis tried to get it into the finishing third. A handball call against the Bears, a free kick for the Friars, but not much time to work with. Remember, no stoppage time. Once it hits 0, the half is over. It's sent to the 18, comes out to Butler. Butler takes a shot, and we are out of time. The final whistle sounds right now. So we've played one half. 40 minutes are in the book. These two teams playing pretty much dead, solid, even soccer through the first 40 minutes. It's Ursuline Academy, the defending champions, 0, and Bishop Lynch, 0. We'll take a look at the first half stats and highlights. Take a look at the upcoming schedule here this afternoon on Championship Saturday in Houston at Audi International School. Our coverage of the TAPPS State Playoffs continues on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Halftime in Houston at Audi International School. It's the TAPPS 2014 Girls Division I Winter Soccer Championship. Ursuline Academy and Bishop Lynch from Dallas coming all the way to Houston to battle for a gold medal. And through 40 minutes, it's a scoreless tie. But it's a scoreless tie that's been a lot of fun to watch. Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. The midfield for both teams is playing really aggressively right now. They're playing physical soccer, a lot of good tackles going on, and they're holding possession, both of them. So they're making it difficult on each other. But you're right, it's a complete dogfight out there. Great soccer being played.
Yeah, it's really been evenly played. I think possession is probably pretty even at this point. They've probably had the same number of chances. This game really is. It's hard to predict what's going to happen here in the final 40 minutes.
It really is. I think it's going to come down to two players. For Ursuline, number 25, Katie Haidu, their midfielder. She's done a good job of putting the ball up front, finding other players to score for her. And then for Lynch, another midfielder, number 12, Natalie Madonna. She's another one, just like with Haidu. She's been progressing the ball forward, but she can shoot the ball a little bit better than Haidu. She needs to find Tillman a little bit more for Lynch and get up forward that way. And if they can do that, they can get some goals.
Yeah, and it's good to see that the Haynes has been able to play here today. Taylor Haynes coming off the bench as a kind of a super sub, if you will, providing even more speed for Lynch. I think Bishop Lynch got to be real happy about the way they've played the defending champions.
As evenly as that first half was played, I would give the first half to Bishop Lynch. I think they had more opportunities on goal. They had more scoring chances, and they played a little bit more in the Ursuline half.
I think the Bears are used to having the ball a little bit more than they had it there in the first half.
Well, you know, it's weird because yesterday we watched their game against Nolan, and the first half started the same way. I think at halftime we said that game was in desperate need of a goal. This one's more exciting than that. But for some reason, the first half of these games, Ursuline hasn't looked great. In the second half is when they turned on. So we'll have to see how they react after halftime.
That's in part because they're so good at making those halftime adjustments, and we'll see how things unfold. We'll have a champion crowned at the end of this game. We've already had several champions crowned here in Houston this week at the TAPPS State Playoffs, and you're taking a look now. Brook Hill, the Lady Guard, winning the Division III champion and completing an undefeated campaign, going 20-0-0. Colleyville Covenant won a thriller over Houston Cypress to win the boys Division III championship game, and they've looked really as solid as just about any team we've seen. And then we saw Parish Episcopal repeat as state champions earlier today, beating Audi International School on their home pitch to claim that state title in Division II. Meanwhile, in Division II boys, a repeat champion there as well, and it was Faith Christian Academy out of Grapevine. The Lions, they were undefeated this season, and they too had to beat Audi International School on their home pitch in order to claim that state title. And right now, we're at the half here in the Division I girls game, and then we've got the Division I boys game still to come. Trinity Christian Academy out of Addison will take on Central Catholic out of San Antonio in that championship game in our final game of the day. So we've moved into kind of the marquee matches, if you will, the Division I matches. Certainly the first 40 minutes of Division I play hasn't let us down.
No, and I can't wait for this second half. I think it's just going to get more physical out there, and these teams are going to start getting desperate, going for those goals more often, and once they get more set pieces and more corners, it's going to be really fun to watch.
And we'll take a look at the first half stats. We'll also have highlights of this first half in Houston. Hope you're enjoying our soccer coverage this week as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. We've got a thrilling second half to come as we try to determine who will be the Division I champion in girls soccer. And don't forget, coming up later, it's the Division I boys game here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Sam Irwin and Pete Stein along with you on a perfect day in Houston for soccer. It's cloudy, but comfortably cool here. Stay with us. There's more to come on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Action in this championship game. And Haley starting the second half, getting to the byline. Yesterday we saw Haley come in as a sub in both the first and second half, but Madison Haley is starting both halves here, and the Bears putting some early pressure on Bishop Lynch at the start of the second half. Here's a corner kick coming up for Ursuline.
I like that move in such a tough, close, hard-fought game. You want Haley in there from the start.
More evidence that this has been a close game. Look at the passing numbers. That's 59% for Ursuline, 57% for Bishop.
Last time Ursuline had a corner, they looked for Haley and Haidu on the back post.
Frankie goes near post this time with an outswinger inside the box. Ursuline doesn't even get a touch on it. Ganter racing Haidu to the ball. Ganter trying to keep it in play, unable to do so. The Bears will have a throw in.
Poor take on that corner. I don't think it was caught cleanly.
The throw in to Arenas. Nashana got hammered by Haley, and then getting tripped up is Aaron Scott as they fall like dominoes inside the 6-yard box.
Haley has to be careful not to get a card. She just ran in there like a wrecking ball, taking down anything in her path. Didn't even look like a play on the ball necessarily on Haley's part.
Official giving a verbal warning here to Haley. Everybody seems to be okay. So Aaron Scott in the captain's armband. In as the keeper. Flips the ponytail behind her before delivering this kick. Crew's not able to hold that one in play, and Frankie will have a throw in. Frankie will give it up to Danko. Danko looking for Arenas. Whistle and a foul and a free kick coming up for the Bears. This is just inside the attacking third for Ursuline. It'll be Chaikin, and Chaikin will send this ball inside the 18. Has 5 targets to the right side of the area. As she makes the approach, they move toward the 6-yard box. Haidu calling for the ball just outside the box. Now moves in. Haidu outside the area trying to get off a cross. It gets blocked. And it's another corner kick for Ursuline here early in the second half.
Ursuline is starting very strong in the second half. Their second corner kick that they've earned been all around the Bishop Lynch net. With a new goalkeeper too, you have to test her early in this game since she's coming in at the half. So they're doing a good job, Ursuline is.
Haidu playing that ball off Curtis, and it gives Samantha Chaikin, the senior, a chance for service on this corner.
Last time Chaikin kind of duffed the ball, didn't make it very far.
No fewer than 6 targets. Going to the back post. Arenas chasing it down to the touchline. Gets it to Haidu. Trevino in the center circle. Trevino drives it up the middle, looks for Haley. Haley with a nice trap, does a good job with it at her feet. Frankie traps it, lays it back. Chaikin sends it to the left wing side for Haidu, who gets around Cruz, moves into the area. Curtis now marking Haidu. Haidu trips over the ball, and Huerta will give up the throw in.
Haidu needed to shoot that ball. She got at the edge of that 18-yard box, took a step inside, had a clearing, decided to dribble it a little bit further in, but then she loses control of the ball, and the chance isn't completely dead yet, but wasn't as viable as it was before.
Frankie with the throw in, trying to put it at the feet of Arenas. Ursuline now has completed over 100 passes in this game, and they're going to get another chance at a corner kick, this time from the left side. 35.5 minutes to play. The ball sent in, and then it's deflected by one of the Bears, wide, out of play, and a goal kick for Bishop Lynch.
A little miscommunication that time. It looked like Alex Arenas, number 14, and Katie Haidu were in the same place. Neither of them knew which one was going to go for it. Ends up hitting right in between them and going into touch.
We've played 45 minutes. Haley unable to control the ball at the top of the D. Oshana will just let that one go out of play. Scott gathers up the ball and will deliver this goal kick as the sun tries to break through the overcast skies here. It's been mostly cloudy all day long. This is Cruz lifting it up the right side, seeking out Haynes. Tillman on the ball now for the Friars. Ganter plays it to the right side. Cruz back to Ganter. Ganter in traffic. Tried to play it into space, but Danko is there to clear it. It comes right back to Danko, and again she sends it to midfield. Curtis will let Mashana handle it in the center circle. Mashana sends it to the top of the D. Tillman is there. Tillman is fouled, and it's a free kick for the Friars. This free kick coming from about 25 yards out.
See the replay right here. Tillman just trying to make a move on the ball. Has Danko on her back, a little bit of a touch. I can see a penalty there, but very dangerous now for Ursuline.
Yeah, give Tillman credit for selling it. Curtis with the free kick. 5 targets to the left, lined up at the 18, 1 to the right. The ball is chipped in to the 6-yard box. Loose in the box. A shot, a save, still loose. And then it's knocked out of play. But Emma McCready stands tall in goal.
First off, what a send-in that time. But Shauna is down low, gets a third header, and then she gets a second chance with the rebound. Can't land it. And they clearly out of bounds off of Shaken, so a good call for the corner kick.
Yeah, it is a corner kick coming from the left side, and this will be Caitlin Curtis. Curtis drives one into the 6-yard box, but the whistle immediately sounds.
Time they caught Tillman for something. I think they said that she was messing with the goalkeeper a little bit too much.
The official explaining the call. Tillman thinks the referee's crazy.
So she's a normal soccer player.
That's a common reaction. Shaken. Plus, it's pretty much what a teenage girl thinks about what an adult has to say 90% of the time. Into the 49th minute of this game, and the Bears building an attack. Across from the right side, loose at the 6-yard box. Cruz clears it up but not out. Finally, it ricochets out of the area. Now a 50-50 ball, and Ganter is not able to beat Ollinger to the ball. A goal kick coming up for the Friars.
I actually think Alexis Sheldon may have got away with a handball in the box that time. It was bouncing around and suddenly it gets settled. She didn't lift her foot up to sell it, though. It looked like it hit off of something around her hip area.
Scott trying to get it to Ganter. Sent straight up in the air. Cruz trying to get underneath it. Cruz displaying her innocence to the official, yet she was called for the foul, and it'll be a free kick for the Bears. This will be Catherine Gasper with the free kick. Gasper, Danko, Trevino, and Ollinger, the back four for the Bears. Into Haidu. Haidu, though, not able to settle it, and here come the Friars. Moving right up the middle is McDonough. Tillman to her right. McDonough makes the run up the middle. Tillman will play it back to Cruz. That gets deflected by Frankie out of play.
Cruz started off having a really good game. She has to find a way to get down the line, though, and sit in across. You need a goal at this point, and you need some good technique over the ball to get around defenders.
Cruz the last to touch it, so it's a throw in for the Bears. Danko. Frankie battling Cruz. The reaction of the Friar fans tell you that it's a free kick for Ursuline. Frankie may have lost a contact lens here. Her and Cruz have been battling throughout this half.
I was about to say, Cruz and Frankie, that's going to be a physical matchup on this near side. Both trying to get position.
Here's another look at that battle. Looks like she got raked across the face by Cruz.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call. For calling it on Cruz, I know the Bishop Lynch fans weren't happy.
McDonough just plays that into space, hoping that Tillman could get there, but it's Ollinger in the back. The Bears, Haley gets tripped up, takes a tumble on the turf, but the official says play on. And the Friars get it to Curtis. Mashana beats this one to the touchline and controls it for Bishop Lynch. Sends it up the right touchline. to Haynes. Frankie is there defensively. Throw in for Bishop Lynch. Cruz will put it in play. Here's a look at the last knockdown. As Haynes took a tumble, no whistle drawn for that, but now a free kick coming up for the Lady Bears in their own end.
I think sometimes fans and spectators get used to in soccer, if you fall down after you run into someone, it's a foul on someone. But sometimes there's just 50-50 balls, and in the normal run of play, people fall down. It's not always a foul. And I really like how these refs have been running the games this tournament. They let the kids play, and they don't try to interrupt the game or the flow of the game too much.
Catherine Gasper sends it into Friar territory, right to the edge of the attacking third, but it's McDonough who's there for Bishop Lynch. McDonough moving straight up the middle of the pitch. Plays it to the left side for Tillman. Tillman inside the 18, takes a shot! Then diving to her right is Emma McCready.
Another great job by McDonough, setting that up, getting it out to the outside, finding Tillman, just places that ball perfectly at her foot.
Able to get around Ollinger and then had a window to shoot it between Ollinger and Gasper. Put it right on the post. And Emma McCready's been outstanding today in goal for the Bears, keeping this a scoreless tie. She's made 6 saves now. 26.5 minutes remaining. And the physical play continues. This time, it's Casey Butler who gets planted. Free kick for the Friars, right along the touchline.
Keep an eye on Shauna. She comes up for all these free kicks. She was a big player in the last one they took.
6 targets lined up at the 18. Curtis sends it in. It gets cleared. Haley again hits the turf, and again there's no call forthcoming. Huerta gets it to Curtis, who drives it in, but on a big hop, it'll be played by Emma McCready.
At time, Haley looked like she was taking the charge in the lane. Gets a little bump in the chest that falls back pretty quickly.
We're in the 55th minute of this match. It's still a scoreless tie, but there's been lots of end-to-end action here in Houston. Now at the Friars end of the field, Huerta with a push into Arenas. That probably looked a little worse than it was. Frankie with the throw in, deep in Friar territory. Haidu calling for it, gets it, right back to Frankie who sends it in. Mashana with the header, clearing it. It's Chaikin, unable to settle it. Now Haley has it at the top of the D, trying to feed it back to Chaikin. It gets cleared away by the Friars, out to Tillman. Tillman has time and space, moving up the right side. Crosses halfway, now cuts it back toward the middle for McDonough. McDonough lays it out for Cruz on the right side. Cruz to McDonough. Ganter in the middle of the field. One touch pass to McDonough, making a run up the middle. She got tripped up by Trevino. And a free kick coming up, and it looks like the referee's going into his pocket to show Trevino a yellow card. Trevino gets booked here, and Trevino's going to have to come out of the game in the 56th minute.
Seemed to be an easy yellow card call. I mean, when you stick your leg in like that, don't really go after the ball, just trying to stop the attack. You're going to get the yellow card called on you most of the time.
I tell you what, the crowd here for this Division I championship game, they're having lots of fun here in Houston. So Peyton Steiner will enter the game. The officials have stopped the clock with 24:21 remaining.
Little confusion. They only have 10 players on the field for Ursuline right now. They send the yellow card player off. Coach was trying to sub someone back in, and they didn't allow her to.
Mashana sends it inside the 6-yard box. Cruz with a shot, and right on the goal line. Fielding it on a hop is Emma McCready. McCready's been in the right spot at the right time all day long. That's her 7th save.
That's a lot of danger right there, but if I'm the Ursuline coach, I'm still upset. Still only 10 players on the pitch for Ursuline. The referee not letting the player come in to replace the one that had the yellow card.
Mashana takes a tumble, and the Friars have a free kick. They still have not allowed the sub to come in, have they?
No, so I mean, Ursuline's playing a player down right now. And that's not what the yellow card rule is. If you have the yellow card, then the player has to immediately come on to replace her.
That's Trevino, number 23. She was the one shown yellow. Allie Dawes doesn't want to hear about it. And she just walks away because I think she's so upset. She's afraid she might say something she regrets.
You know, if I was her, I would be livid as well. I think she has a really good point in this one, and her team having to play a man down in a 0-0 game.
Jakin sending it into the midfield. It's intercepted by Curtis. Frankie with a heavy first touch. McDonough gets it to the speedy Haynes. Tillman couldn't trap it cleanly. Still trying to reclaim it in the D. Cleared by the Bears. Out to Curtis, who traps it. Race for the 50-50 ball. It's going to be won by Haley right at the center stripe. Haley sends it in deep. Mashana knocks it down and controls it for the Friars. This is Butler moving up the left side. Reaches halfway, then sends it up the channel to Tillman. Tillman moves toward the middle to McDonough. McDonough with a nice cutback move, gets it on her left foot, puts the shot on frame, but right into the hands of Emma McCready. 58th minute of play, we remain scoreless. McCready with 8 saves. Mashana in the back to Curtis. Ganter gets it to McDonough. That's Haynes playing it to the left side. The Bears not able to get it out of their own territory. Ganter chested down. Here comes Haidu to Haley, back to Haidu. Huerta stepping up defensively. Lund goes down in a heap along with Casey Butler. Free kick for the Bears. They're still playing down a man.
This is getting pretty, I mean, it has to be scary right now for Ursuline because there's been a couple of good chances, but it's just such a big disadvantage. It's still not clear as to why they're having to play down a man.
Steiner and Trevino both waiting there. It was Trevino who was shown the yellow. This one is sent in above the head of Haley, and then a shot from Haidu. Headed by Cruz, and then cleared by McDonough. Danko to Frankie, who can't keep it in play. And Allie Doss is over there, jumping up and down, trying to get the attention of the officials. As Trevino now is allowed to come back into the game. Now the referee, the man in the middle, going to talk to one of the linesmen. The linesman on the far side. They appear to be in agreement.
Well, I mean, if you're Ursuline, at least you made it through that patch with only 10 players on the field without giving up a goal. You even got your own good chance. Just really curious line of events right there that led to that, though.
Well, they have not started the clock yet. We've played nearly an hour. And we're going to have another card shown here. And I believe it's going to be, as we take a look at the replay, it's going to be Ganter who gets the yellow, pulling down Madison Haley. And Haley's hit the turf 3 or 4 times now here in this half.
Now you can see Allison Doss on the sideline. She's mad that they're actually be able to make the substitution after the yellow card like she was not allowed to do.
Are they saying that she didn't make the substitution fast enough so that, I don't know.
Yeah,
just
but
guessing.
You can see her now. She's still livid,
yeah,
especially after this substitution.
I can understand her frustration. Sent in by Chaikin. Foul in the area. May have been called on Alex Arenas. Here you take a look at Darren Hedges. We've played just over an hour here. Still scoreless. Mashana with a free kick from her own D.
Well, we talked at halftime about how evenly matched these two teams are. They're still just in a dogfight right now, trying to get some kind of advantage over each other.
Tillman has it in the midfield. To Butler. McDonough. Curtis. Curtis getting around Chaikin. McDonough plays it back to Huerta. Comes to McDonough. To Cruz. Cruz sends it in. Haynes is there. Has it on her left foot. Sends it up well over the crossbar.
What a job by Haynes on this, though. McDonough sends in the cross. Haynes kind of dummies it, lets it go past her right there, and gives herself a perfect shot. Just can't get enough on top of the ball that's bouncing to put on target.
Now Emma McCready with a goal kick coming up for Ursuline. They've been outshot by Bishop Lynch 16-10. 62nd minute of play here. Still waiting on the game's first goal, but we've not lacked for action. Certainly not lacking for suspense. Haynes trying to get there before it goes over the byline, unable to do so, gets shielded off by Ollinger. Goal kick for McCready. A low liner. It's a 50-50 ball. Stack volleys it in the direction of Tillman. Tillman taken down by Trevino. The play is stopped because of an injury away from the ball. Here's a look at the action on the ball with Tillman going down, Trevino there. And this may be Haidu being helped up to her feet here, and it is.
Well, more confusion now. The referees, he needs to really get his focus back, as he never signaled to stop the clock, and he's not paying attention to the clock running right now, but he sent the teams off the field.
You see the passing totals fairly even right now. Ursuline 57%, Bishop Lynch 59%. And now he gives the signal, crossing the arms with just over 17 minutes to play. It's up to the official to tell the timekeeper to stop the clock. The timekeeper doesn't have his own, he can't make his own decisions.
And that's why I'm saying the referee clearly never signaled to stop the clock, but then he kind of turned his back and didn't pay attention to what was going on with the time after sending the teams off.
And I wonder if we're not better off we're going with the international rules where the officials keep the time and we add stoppage time.
I like that better, just because, especially at the end of the game, if you have some kind of attack building and you're one down, and then all of a sudden you look up and there's only 10 seconds left, it's not necessarily how soccer works. That's maybe how football or basketball or, you know, something like that. But soccer is a game of momentum and building.
Especially now since they post the remaining time, though that's not, the referee's not bound by that, by the way, in international play, but at least it gives people an idea of how much more time they're going to play. But
and it is under a system. It's based off of who goes down, and that's what the referee keeps. But
it seems random at times, but it's really not supposed to be. Stack with this throw in for Bishop Lynch. Just under 17 minutes to play. If we stay in a tie, we'll have 2 10-minute overtime periods in this girls Division I championship game, and nervous moments for fans on both sides. Even those who don't have a rooting interest are a little anxious right now. This has been a fantastic game, just the kind of game you would want for a state championship.
It's been one of the most exciting 0-0 games I've seen in a long time.
Haynes trying to get around Trevino, not able to do it. It gets knocked out of play. It's a throw in for the Friars. "64 minutes complete now. Frankie not able to take it away from Tillman. Plays it to Curtis, a one-touch pass toward Haynes at the top of the box. Danko clears it up. Ganter is there for Bishop Lynch. Tillman goes down. Official says play on. Ganter trying to get around Steiner, can't get past Haidu. Haidu moves forward for the Bears, getting it to Haley, hoping to play a little 1-2, but Haley lost her footing. It gets past Stack, goes across the touchline, and it'll be a throw in for the Friars. McDonough, back to Mashana. Lifts it up, bounces near Haynes. Haynes gets around Danko and moves up the right channel. Centers it, trying to get it to Tillman, but it gets cleared away by the center back. McDonough controls it at the halfway stripe. Lynch starting to spend a lot of time now in Bears territory. Mashana getting it to McDonough. Up the right side for Haynes. Good marking there by Danko.
Not a great play by Haynes that time, but she's really stepped up her play in the last 15 minutes. She's been good at kind of dumbing the ball where it looks like she's going to touch it, lets it go past her, and then she uses her speed to run past the defender.
Goal kick here for Emma McCready. Just over 14 minutes remaining. Headed by Ganter. Glances off Haidu. Curtis gets it to Ganter. Ganter lifts it. Tillman making a run. Coming off her line to play, it is McCready. 50-50 ball. It's Haidu who gets there first. Frankie sends it beyond halfway. Now the race is on, and that's going to go across the touchline. Throw in for the Friars.
Great job by McCready that time, coming off her line to clear that one.
Hanks quick with the throw into Mashana, gets it to Stack. Christina Stack, a sub. Getting it to McDonough. McDonough trying to force it to the top of the box, and it gets intercepted. Lund is there defensively. Now McDunn trying to find either Ganter or Tillman. Headed by Haidu. Right back to McDonough, who chested down, settles the ball, sweeps it to her left for Kenzie Morton. Morton getting past Lund up the touchline. Lund wins it. Lund makes a run up the right side. The Bears finally get it into Friar territory, but they don't have a target down there, and it's going to be scooped up by Aaron Scott, who appreciates a little business. She's just been a spectator here. Glances off Stack. McDonough trying to get it to Haynes. Gasper steps up, the center back, plays it to halfway. There's Curtis for Bishop Lynch. Stack up the channel for Haynes, trying to get around Danko. Bishop Lynch fans don't agree, but it's a throw in for Ursuline.
think that was a good call. Haynes was hoping to get a foul call because of the shoulder bumps that were going in. Nothing that needed to be called, though.
This is Haidu. Now Chaikin sends it to the far side. It's intercepted. Morton trying to get it to Tillman. Tillman gets tangled up, and Tillman may be shaken up as she got caught up with Ollinger. Play on. Tillman trying to regroup. The ball comes her way. Glances off her chest in the direction of Haynes. Batted back into Friar territory in the direction of Haley, who plays it to Chaikin. Tillman now putting pressure on the ball, trying to win it back for the Friars. Knocks Lund off the ball, no call. Ganter gets it to Tillman, marked by Chaikin. Ahead to Haynes, and a wrestling match breaks out.
You know, I am all for physical soccer, but this referee just needs to be careful this doesn't get a little bit out of hand after a certain point, especially as you get closer to the end time.
Official shows the cross arms to stop the clock after Haynes and Gasper get tangled up.
It didn't look like that bad of the foul. It's just after they fell and you have Haynes on top of the opponent's player kind of looking down at him, that's where it starts to get kind of iffy.
Kind of giving her the Mark Gastineau stare. Friars trying to get it out of their own end. McDonough to Ganter. Ganter looking upfield, pushes it forward, now delivers it across halfway. Haynes won't have quite enough speed to beat Frankie to the ball. Played back to Danko. To Chaikin. Haidu gets around Ganter with a nice move. Haidu accelerates up the inside right channel. Now drives it into the area, and that's going to be caught by Aaron Scott. Scott makes the shoestring catch. As we wind down the 70th minute of play in regulation, it's still scoreless.
Great move by Haidu that time, getting around the defender. She was looking for Madison Haley, just couldn't get the ball close enough to the 18-yard box, got too close to the keeper.
Steiner playing it back to Haidu. Haidu drives it past Haley, who never had a chance to get a touch. And it'll be a goal kick now for Bishop Lynch.
Now, if you're wondering why they keep sending that forward, it's because we saw it yesterday. All Haley needs is to be able to get a toe on that ball, and she can just put it in the perfect place. So when Haidu's sitting those forward, is just trying to give Haley a chance to stick a foot out and toe poke it past the keeper. I actually believe all three of her goals yesterday were in that same fashion.
Yep. All three of those goals yesterday coming in the second half, knocking off Fort Worth Nolan. Now another district rival stands in Ursuline's way as they try to once again win the state championship. It'll be a throw-in for Ursuline. Danko will put it in play for the Bears. Less than 9 minutes remaining in the contest, at least in regulation. Could have two 10-minute overtimes in the not too distant future here. Foul called, free kick for the Friars out of their own end. Mishana drives it with the right foot. Chaikin with the header. It's going to be out of play and a throw-in for Bishop Lynch near the center stripe. Put in play to Mishana. Tillman struggling, not able to get it past Haidu. And now on the run is Lund, crossing halfway. Haley with a nice one-touch pass into space. Lund runs up on it, gets spilled. Now Chaikin has it. Mishana pokes it away. Tillman has it. The official says play on. McDonough in the center circle. Lund still trying to pull herself up. Back in the Bears into the field. Bears into the attacking third once again. This ball sent in, loose. Scott falls on top of it before Haley gets there.
Good job by Scott. It looks like it was going to be danger for a second. As you said, Haley running in fast. But a nice shot that sent in that time by Katie Lund. You were just mentioning she was down on the field, something bothering her, but she found the guts to charge on the field and send in a powerful shot.
Mashana steps in front of Haidu and sends that one out of play. It'll be a throw in. With less than 7 minutes remaining now. 8 shots on goal for Bishop Lynch, 4 for Ursuline. It's a scoreless tie. Throw in for Lund. Chaikin sends it into the area looking for Haley. Flicks a header wide.
How athletic is Madison Haley? She gets way up there for that one and does a good job of snapping the head, trying to put it on target. Just misses a little bit to the left.
Haley, just a freshman, had the hat trick in the semifinal game. Neither team managing a goal in this game. But it's been end-to-end action here at Audi International School in Houston. Ideal playing conditions, cool temperatures. It's a little breezy, but it hasn't had an effect on the game. Haley knocks it down, on the ball now. Drives it from distance. Scott fields the Sunday hop, no problem. Scott with a punt sent up high in the air. It'll bounce into Bears territory. Frankie gets on top of it, stepping in front of Stack, not letting Haley get a touch on it. Trevino sends it to halfway, intercepted there by Curtis. McDonough gets it to Stack. Up the right channel for Haley. Taylor Haynes, I should say. McDonough with a shot from distance, and that's wide right.
I really like that decision, though. We've been seeing McDonough pass that off all day, not really taking her own shot, but she can really shoot it on goal.
Less than 5 minutes to play. Stack volleys it, but just into space. Throw in for the Bears as it went off Haynes. Danko will put it in play for Ursuline. Headed by McDonough. Chaikin gets it to Ollinger, who's backpedaling. Now moves forward. Sends it up the right side, but past the intended target, Madison Haley. We'll have substitutions here with 4 minutes to play. Cruz getting ready to come back into the game for Bishop Lynch. She'll replace Stack. Christina Stack logged a bunch of minutes here late in the second half. You take a look at the passing numbers in this game. Ursuline 57%, Bishop Lynch 62%. Lynch has had a lot more of the possession here in the second half. 3.5 minutes remaining.
Lynch has been an aggressor, but don't discount the chances Ursuline has had, even if they haven't had the ball at their feet much. Still some really good shots going in.
The Bears trying to get into the finishing third, but Curtis sends an aerial past halfway, trying to make a connection with Haynes. It's Tillman who chested down. Tillman getting around Chaikin. Now Chaikin will chase it down, beating Cruz. Chaikin played it ahead for Lund. Lund moves up the right channel. Curtis is there to dispossess Lund. And then Curtis immediately gets it to Tillman, who's pushed to the turf, and it's a free kick for the Friars. Ollinger commits the foul.
Curtis has been so big for this Bishop Lynch side. He's playing in the midfield or on that back line, just stopping any run that gets going.
Less than 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Is there going to be a late hero here? We've had 26 fouls, 14 on Bishop Lynch, 12 on Ursuline. Frankie for Ursuline sends it out of play, right near the center stripe. Throw in coming up for the Friars. In the game now is Ashley Hanks, puts it in play. Oh, it skips past Ganter. Now on the run is Haidu, right up the middle to the center forward channel. Plays it to Haley. Haley with a blast! And Scott with a save! Wow!
Everyone just playing out of their mind right now. First, Haidu finding Haley right here. A great pass, great job by Haley. She gets off a great shot, but Scott not slacking either, deflects it away. A great job that time by Aaron Scott, keeping it 0-0. Not out of danger yet, though. Right. You have the corner kick coming.
And this is Samantha Chaikin putting it down in the corner circle on the right side. 4 targets in the middle of the area. That's Mashana just outside the area. Settled by Steiner, who swings it out wide for Chaikin. Chaikin will deliver service again inside the 6-yard box. And Scott gets bumped by Lund after making the catch with less than a minute to play. Scott drives it to midfield. Curtis trying to send it to Tillman, who comes in and fouls Chaikin. The official will stop the clock here and pull out a yellow card. The yellow card shown to Casey Tillman. So Tillman has to come out with 31 seconds remaining.
You know, that hurts, but with only 30 seconds, you're not really going to get a strong counterattack, so it doesn't hurt as much. Tillman usually is the one up front when everyone's on defense.
It's Christina Stack, the freshman who has come in to replace Tillman, who has to sit with the yellow. Chaikin drives this one inside the 6. Boy, that was a nervous moment for the Friars, but they're able to clear it with 23 seconds left. That's a great ball in from Samantha Chaikin off the free kick, reminiscent of last night's game with Central Catholic of San Antonio. They scored on a play just like that at the end of overtime. McDonough, an aerial long. Can Haynes catch up to it? Not before Trevino gets there. We've run out of time and the final whistle sounds. 80 minutes of scoreless soccer has never been that exciting. We're going to overtime. This game deserves to continue on. 2 10-minute overtimes in front of us and a possible shootout to determine a state champion. Ursuline and Bishop Lynch. The game rolls on, and you're watching it on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Scoreless tie through 80 minutes in this TAPPS 2014 Girls Division I Winter Soccer Championship. Ursuline Academy and Bishop Lynch are headed to overtime. It's a golden goal rule, so 1 goal would win it for either side, but we'll play 2 10-minute overtimes, assuming that nobody scores, and if that is the case, then we go to a shootout to determine a winner of this game. Bishop Lynch outshooting Ursuline in regulation 17-13. The Friars with 8 shots on goal, 6 shots on goal for Ursuline. Ursuline completing 56% of their passes, a 61 pass completion percentage for the Friars. And now we anxiously await the beginning of overtime here at Audi International School in Houston under overcast skies, cool but comfortable conditions. The wind not really a factor. You couldn't ask for better conditions, and you couldn't ask for a better game.
Now, like you said before the break, this is the best 0-0 game you could ever ask for. Just so much action on the field, drama at every end. And now I think the real question becomes is how can Bishop Lynch perform in what is their second straight overtime game in 2 straight days?
Well, you make a great point, and it shouldn't be forgotten that Bishop Lynch had to play overtime 24 hours ago. Ursuline also had to play 24 hours a game, but a game that wasn't nearly as taxing as what Bishop Lynch played.
No, we mentioned earlier Bishop Lynch didn't win that game until about 3 minutes left in the second overtime. So that's a good 17 extra minutes that you're playing yesterday before you have to come out here.
Bishop Lynch defeating John Paul II yesterday, 2-1. I don't think that's Kevin Sumlin, but it could be. Was a 2-1 victory, and then Ursuline winning 3-0 in a game where they just really dominated. It wasn't as much physical stress on them or emotional stress. Today's been a different story for Ursuline, though.
Yeah, and, you know, Ursuline's won this title so many times in a row now. I mean, almost 2 decades. They're in a new position. They're almost like Bishop Lynch. They normally could just wrap this thing up pretty quickly. Bishop Lynch not backing down at all. I've been really impressed with the performance from the Friars.
It's been an all-out effort. What's gut-wrenching about this is it's a state championship game, and there can only be one winner.
Yeah, both of that. 2 teams from the same district playing in the championship game for the 3rd time in the season. It's just a great setup, and it's a great game right now.
Tell you what, I don't know if Major League Soccer will be any better than what we've seen here. But we do have Major League Soccer coming up at 7:30. It's the Montreal Impact visiting FC Dallas at Toyota Stadium to kick off the MLS season. And you'll see FC Dallas Soccer throughout the season right here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Hope you've been with us throughout the week for our coverage of the TAPPS soccer tournament here. We've seen great action from both boys, girls, Division III, Division II, and Division I. It's been highly entertaining.
Yeah, just great soccer after great soccer after great soccer, especially that Covenant team that ended up winning the Division III Boys Championship over Cyprus. That was one of the most exciting games. This one may actually top that one in my book.
High school soccer games on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel are available through Time Warner Cable Local On Demand. Check your Time Warner Cable On Demand for this and other great games from across the state of Texas. You can also catch our coverage of football, basketball, and volleyball. And if you need information on all of the programming here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, I got an idea. You can go to our website, twcsportschannel.com. Pete Stein along with Sam Irwin and the Time Warner Sports Channel crew here in Houston, waiting for this overtime period to begin. Each team getting a well-deserved rest after a hard-fought 80 minutes. On the girls' side, we've already had 2 champions crowned. In Division III, it was Brookhill out of Bullard defeating Austin Veritas for the state championship. And then in the Division II, earlier today, Dallas Parish Episcopal defeated Houston Audi, playing on their home pitch, suffering a 2-1 loss, and Parish Episcopal repeated as state champions. That's what Ursuline is trying to do. They have dominated Division I soccer.
Teams come back on the field. The first thing I noticed, Aaron Scott, the junior keeper, she's the one that came in the second half. She's staying in the game in the overtime. Don't forget, she stopped a Madison Haley shot with about 2 minutes left that basically saved the game for Bishop Lynch.
Yesterday, it was the other way around. It was Micah McKay who was in the second half and then played the overtime period for Bishop Lynch against Pope John Paul II. It's the Friars kicking off to begin the overtime period. Remember, it's a golden goal, sudden death. We'll play 10 minutes going each way if there is no goal scored. And McDonough's trying to put one on frame right away, and it's parried down. It might have hit the crossbar and McCready not knocked it down. It might have stuck in under the crossbar if McCready hadn't played it.
I like that play right out at the start. McDonough sends in a bullet, gets it to dip. You know, that looks like that was just a clean save by McCready that time. Good job getting her hands up and not letting it sneak past her.
Wow, what a start to the overtime. The Bears now trying to get a chance for themselves as Lund moves up the right side. Lund to the byline, across, that Scott knocks away. Still loose in the area. Haley's going to have a shot, but it's blocked by Curtis. And then Curtis with a sliding tackle to keep it away from Chaikin.
McCready makes a great play, and Scott says, I can do the same thing, batting another one away, keeping it 0-0. A great save, or at least a great push out on what had been a dangerous situation.
Danko with the throw in for Ursuline. Headed down by Cruz. Frankie able to deflect that off McDonough. Danko will have another throw in. McDonough not able to trap it initially, but now she has control of it in her own end. Getting pressure from Chaikin. McDonough moves left to the open Tillman. Tillman plays it into space. Then running up on it is McDonough. McDonough to Ganter. Ganter into space. Expected McDonough, I think, to make that run. Headed by Steiner. Lashana pushing forward. Huerta sends it back across halfway, but it's controlled in the midfield by the Bears. Haidu drives it to the right side. This is going to be scooped up by Scott before Lund can get off a shot.
You have to think Bishop Lynch just had flashbacks to yesterday. As they were going in, it seemed like it was almost a foul committed in the box on Haidu as she was going. That's how Bishop Wynn gets a, you see it right here. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Lund charging into the box, but Lund gets hit from behind.
This is Haidu. To Haley, trying to trap it, tripped herself up. Got it to Steiner, who swings it out wide to Chaikin. Chaikin getting around Butler. Butler with the sliding tackle, play on. Lashana settling it to clear. Seeking Tillman. It's Ollinger who steps in front. Free kick for the Friars out of their own end.
You know what else is amazing me, Pete? Even with this offensive power, it's been almost 2 full games since Lynch has scored.
Here's McDonough. McDonough working a little give and go here with Tillman inside the 18. Tillman settles it, moves to her right, then gets taken down. No whistle. That ball's going to go across the touchline. Throw in for the Friars. Cruz will put it in play after a substitution is made. Butler's going to come out. Christina Stack returning to the game. Ganter not able to control it. Throw in for Danko and the Bears. We've played just over 4 minutes of the overtime now. Haley moving up the touchline. Gets cut off by Ashley Hanks. Throw in for the Friars. I think have the more vocal crowd here. That's Curtis driving it in the direction of Haynes. Trevino sends it into touch for a throw in. Cruz will put it in play. McDonough moves to the middle. Here's Haidu putting pressure on McDonough. McDonough goes down. Lund has it for the Bears. Haidu on the right side. Stack there to mark Haidu. Out of play. Both benches pointing in their favor. And it is going to be a Bishop Lynch throw in. Ganter has it at her feet. Ganter played off the ball by Steiner. It's another throw in. Christina Stack. Throwing it up the left channel, trying to get it to Haynes. It comes back to Stack. Chested down by Lund. Plays it off Tillman, gets a throw in for Ursuline. Ollinger sending it up the right side. It skips past Haynes. Flag went up. As it went out of play. Throw in for the Friars. It's going to be a foul there as Tillman was being hogtied. Less than 4 minutes to go here in the first overtime period. A golden goal would end it. We'd still have another 10 minutes of overtime going the other direction if we don't have a goal in the remaining 3:35. We've had 29 fouls in this game, 15 against the Friars, 14 against Ursuline. Shauna driving this one near the 18. It gets headed by Chaikin. Throw in coming up for Ursuline. Chaikin trying to get around McDonough. Back to Danko. Haley taken down by Hanks. No foul though. Haidu moving up the right side. Marked there by Curtis. Curtis wins the ball away from Haidu. Haidu fighting to regain possession. Haidu has possession. Now double teamed as Stack comes over to help out and knocks it out of play. It'll be a throw in for Ursuline. Lund puts it in play. Finds Steiner at the byline. Marked by Huerta. Played off Huerta. Throw in Bears. Lund to put it in play. She may be able to launch this one into the penalty box. Over Chaikin. Headed by Mashana. Haley with a shot that's blocked. And I mean, Haley had some power behind that shot. And Hanks felt it. But here comes Tillman.
It's more good play after good play after good play.
McDonough plays it into space, but a little heavy with the touch, and it won't stay in play. Hanks giving it the thumbs up, but man, she is stinging after taking that block. Haley can really put some velocity on those shots. Steiner chested down in midfield. Pressure from Haynes. Leaves it for Haidu. Intercepted by the Friars. Then redirected by the Bears. Headed by Ganter. Haley trying to settle it. Chipping it toward Frankie, but Cruz takes it away. Cruz gets it to McDonough. McDonough's been brilliant in the midfield today. She had a shot early in the overtime. It's been the best chance so far here in the overtime. Now Lund from distance, skipping one in, but that'll go wide left. And Scott will just let it go on by and have a goal kick with 45 seconds remaining.
You know, the longer this game goes on, Pete, the more you just think it's a shame that one of these teams is going to have to lose and not be the champion, because they're just playing their hearts out right now in some great soccer.
Cruz knocks it down. Huerta sends it to halfway. Danko touched it first. Now Frankie has it. Chaikin laying it back for Trevino. Knocked down by Cruz. Cruz sends it back to the Bears side. Tillman gets taken down by Trevino, who's already playing with a yellow card. Tillman still down in a heap with only 3 seconds remaining. The official never crossed his arms. We have no time remaining on the clock.
Tillman took a shot in the back. And I think a little bit of what happened was she was trying
Well, now the official crosses his arms. He let the clock wind down to 0.
You can see Tillman there, the replay, trying to flick that header on, and when she put her head back, hits the opponent.
We're going to be headed to a second overtime period here in Houston at Audi International School. It's Ursuline Academy, the defending champions. They've been dominant in girls soccer for the last 2 decades. Bishop Lynch trying to dethrone the champion. A final 10 minutes of overtime coming up. Will it come down to a shootout? We'll find out together on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. The start of the second overtime period in this TAPPS 2014 Girls Division I Winter Soccer Championship. And these girls, some gave all, and all gave some in this battle for the title. Bishop Lynch and Ursuline Academy, you could not have a better display of girls soccer, and it's a scoreless tie. And in the run of play, it's been a long time since Bishop Lynch found the back of the net. They scored early in that semifinal game yesterday, won it on a penalty kick.
Yeah, if you take that game or the rest of that game, the overtime, and then this full game and the one overtime, it's been 180 minutes. Some people look at that saying they're on a dry streak. I more look at that with this squad and say they are due. They have too many good scores to go that long without getting a goal.
They've certainly had some opportunities. Out shooting Ursuline 18-15, 9 shots on goal for the Friars, 6 for the Bears. The passing numbers are almost even, a slight advantage for Bishop Lynch, 59 to 57%. A game that's too good to end. We start the second overtime. Haidu plays it back to Lund. Haidu with a one-touch pass. Lund trying to get it back to Haidu, but is denied by Curtis. And now Lund makes a run. Lund gets to the top of the 18, has it on her left foot, and it's blocked by Mashana. Mashana trying to clear, not able to do so. Chaikin with a shot. That's going to be well wide.
Good job that time by Ursuline, starting off very aggressive, getting down into the Bishop Lynch end. Got a good shot off, Chaikin did, just kind of pulled it a little bit to the left.
In the first minute of the second overtime, Frankie going up for the ball there. Free kick coming up for Bishop Lynch. Atu Mashana, the sophomore defenseman, already has made a commitment to Texas. Just a sophomore, what a mature player. She's been brilliant today in the back for Bishop Lynch. Drives this one off the head of Chaikin, who sends it back to halfway. Haley trying to get there first. Gets shouldered down to the ground by Hanks. The foul called. And Haley once again trying to pick herself up off the turf. Bishop Lynch, they saw her yesterday and they've seen her over the course of the season. They know how dangerous she can be, and they have played her physically. And she's just a freshman, and it's been kind of a theme throughout this tournament, how good the youngest players are in this tournament.
Yeah, we've seen about 4 hat tricks happen in the past 2 days. Every single one of them has come from a freshman player.
This will be a free kick for Catherine Gasper, the junior defenseman. A low liner into the mixer. And it's going to be the Bears who control it. They get it back to Ollinger, who sends it right back to the top of the 18. Lund trying to fend off Mashana. Trying to settle the ball now in the corner. Coming up is Huerta. And it's a goal kick. With less than 8 minutes to play in the second overtime.
You know, I know that you're going to agree with me, but this is one game I really don't want to go to penalty kick. Someone deserves to get a goal in the run of play in this one.
People don't always get what they deserve. Cruz does a nice job to push this ball forward. Gets across the center stripe. Plays it to Tillman. Tillman not able to trap it. Haynes can't get there, and the Bears controlling their own end. Chaikin to the center circle. To Steiner. Steiner plays it into space. Mashana making a run to the ball, and they'll just let that one go across the byline 2 girls go down. That's Frankie down for Ursuline. I think that's Cruz that goes down for Bishop Lynch.
They've been battling all day. You can see both just got their feet tangled. Go down hard though.
Reminiscent of the scene from Hoosiers where the coach tells the player, "I want to know what flavor chewing gum he has." Well, they know what flavor chewing gum.
That's really been one of the best battles on the field, is them two just going at each other. It gets kind of funny sometimes because Katie Lund, she's a big girl, almost 6 foot, and they'll put they'll put Cruz on her sometimes. There's about a foot difference in the height, but Cruz is a tough girl. She was staying with everybody.
With both players shaken up, time has stopped with 6:52 remaining in the second overtime period of this fabulous Division I Girls TAPPS State Championship match. I believe that's Allie Doss who's there trying to console Frankie. Frankie, the freshman forward. It appears as though Jackie Cruz is okay, and initially it looked like she got the worst of it. Frankie helped to her feet. You can see she's struggling. Coach Doss telling her to stay calm. And I'll tell you what, we've seen today, Coach Doss is pretty good at staying calm.
Yeah, there was that scene earlier where they were having to play a girl down, and she controlled herself much better than I've seen any other coach ever control himself in that situation.
Most coaches would have lost it. She just walked away from the official.
And she had every right to be mad. That's what, it was kind of like her being the bigger person in that situation, knowing she's right and just walking away.
Sounds like my wife. So a goal kick to restart play in the middle portion of this second overtime. Haley trying to beat Mashana to the ball. Mashana sends it across the touchline. It's a throw in for the Ursuline Bears. Tell you what, the boys are going to have a tough time matching this game.
You know, everyone always says that girls soccer can't stand up to boys soccer. I would point to this game right here as how girls soccer can be just as exciting.
Thrown into Haley. Haley lays it to the top of the box. Haidu is there, but it's poked away. And Haidu gets forced back to the edge of the attacking third by Curtis. Gets it to Haley, who's back on the turf again, battling with Hanks. Hanks is on the ground again. Haley falls down again. The ball comes across the touchline on the near side. You know, here's the reason why games have to go to a PK shootout. These girls are drained, and now you're concerned that it's going to be because the team is just completely exhausted that they give up the goal.
Well, you can see she slipped here, but I really thought right there was a penalty. I think Bishop Lynch got a little bit lucky. But you're right. Everyone just, they have no legs left, and it becomes a little bit more sloppy.
Haidu redirecting that one toward Haley. Mashana trying to clear it, blocked by Haidu. Cruz volleys it into space. Frankie is still out there. Oh my, man, she is playing with some heart. Haley goes down again.
That seems to be the theme of the second overtime, is Haley's been taking a beating all game, and she especially looks like it's starting to take a toll on her.
She's paid a price. And now she needs assistance. The official needs to cross his arms here, and now he does. Stopping the clock, we got 4:48 as the official stop time. 4:48 is the time on the clock. Restarting play with a throw-in. Steiner sends it into the area, trying to find Haley. Curtis trying to clear it. Haydu keeps it in the attacking third. Gets it to Steiner on the right side. Stack comes in. Stack trying to keep that ball in play, and she nearly did, but the official says it went over the touchline. Lund with a throw in for the Bears. Puts it at the feet of Haydu. Haydu right at the edge of the box. Steiner to the byline. Steiner with a cross. At the top of the 6-yard box, it's cleared by Curtis. That's McDonough stepping in front of Chaikin. McDonough on the run for the Friars, across halfway, trying to get the Friars an opportunity here in the second overtime, and McDonough is taken down to the turf, and it's a free kick coming up. And again, the official crosses his arms to stop the clock with 3:54 remaining.
Earlier in this game, McDonough doesn't get caught from behind. In the second overtime with just 4 minutes left, she can get caught from behind pretty easily. You can tell just everyone's so drained out there.
Samantha Chaikin shown the yellow card here. 32 fouls in this game, 16 for each side. We've had 4 cards. Each team has been carded twice. Curtis drives this one inside the 18, and it's headed away by a defender in the back for the Bears. Then Cruz sends it back in, but that's wide left. We're down to the final 3:43 now. The clock continuing to run here at Audi International as a substitution will be made by the Bears. Don't forget the play of Emma McCready throughout the course of this game for Ursuline, keeping the Bears in the game. And now McCready with a goal kick.
Well, all 3 goalkeepers that have played, the 2 for Bishop and the 1 for Ursuline, everyone's been playing well.
Micah McKay and Aaron Scott, they're almost clones of each other. The 2 goalkeepers for Bishop Lynch, and each team now has completed 58% of their passes. It doesn't get more even than this match. Mishana chasing this down. Gets to it before it goes out of play. Less than 3 minutes remaining in overtime. Haydu on the ball now for the Bears. Pushing it up the left channel. Shadowed there by Curtis, who pokes it away from Haydu. Cruz gets it to Ganter, who sends it into the midfield. Trying to find Tillman. It's McDonough who has it. And then that's blocked by Gasper. A battle for possession, won by Ursuline. Frankie scoots up the left side, plays it to the top of the box, cleared by Mishana. Just over 2 minutes remaining in overtime. We're on the precipice of a PK shootout to determine the winner of this Division I Girls State Championship in the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools. The Friars into Bears territory. It's Tillman moving up the center forward channel. Tillman to the top of the D. Tillman with a shot wide left.
Tillman almost winning it in double overtime for the second time. A nice move getting around the defender, and then a strong left trying to finish. Just couldn't get it on target. You see, that may be a little bit of fatigue too. She couldn't keep from drifting with the ball to her left, and then after it comes off her boot, it does the same thing.
Down to the final 90 seconds. 20 shots for Bishop Lynch, 17 for Ursuline, 9 on goal for the Friars, 6 on goal for Ursuline. Steiner, marked by Huerta, gets it to Arenas. Curtis clears it out. Sent in deep, looking for Haley on a big bounce. It's going to be handled by the keeper, Aaron Scott, falling on her backside as she grabs it, and Mashana goes down as well.
Nervous moments right there. This turf gives you a big bounce. And after that first bounce, it looked like Scott may have been a little bit out of position, but a good job backtracking on that.
Megan Danko sending that ball in deep. Down to the final 45 seconds. Battle for possession in the midfield. Will either team have one more chance to get the golden goal? Haynes batting it away from Arenas. 24 seconds remaining. Curtis has it in the midfield. She's had a brilliant game. Gets it to McDonough, who can make things happen. McDonough getting it to the team captain, Ganter. And a free kick coming up, but there's not much time.
Yeah, if you're the referee, if you're calling this foul, you have to stop the clock to give him time to take it.
He doesn't even know how much time's left.
Just a poor job by that referee right there.
The shot goes in on frame as time runs out. So we've played 2 overtimes, and for the first time in the state tournament here at Audie International School this week, a game is going to be decided by a PK shootout. All that's on the line is the state championship. Stay with us. Our coverage of the shootout is next on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Well, it's going to come down to a penalty kick shootout, but after 100 minutes of action, pretty evenly played. 21 shots for Bishop Lynch, 18 for Ursuline, 10 shots on goal for the Friars, 7 for the Bears, 10 saves for Emma McCready, and you cannot underestimate the day she had. Aaron Scott and Micah McKay combining to make 7 saves for the Friars. Ursuline with 4 more corner kicks in this game. Fouls 33, 1 more for Ursuline. Each team was carded twice. Fortunately, we never saw any red cards pulled out. And it's all come down to this after 100 minutes. And it is a very tough way to have to decide a state championship game, but what are you going to do? You've played 100 minutes. There's nothing left in the tank for any of these girls. So it comes down to this shootout.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting for the fans. You feel bad for these teams who played so hard this whole year. And for 100 minutes already today, you'd like for one of them to be able to win without having to do something like a shootout.
But the shootout in itself can be very exciting.
It can. It's just different. I'm not saying it's less. I'm not saying it's worse. It's different than what most are used to.
And, of course, we've somewhat become accustomed to it now, but it still really doesn't have a lot to do with soccer. It's like deciding a baseball game with a home run derby, but again, I don't know what you're going to do. They've played their hearts out. There's nothing left in the tank, and at some point you got to end the game.
Yeah, and if you're Ursuline after this, no matter what happens, you have to look at the fact that you had 4 extra corner kicks than Bishop had. That should have been the difference in this game. You should have been able to get a goal on one of those. Couldn't capitalize, so that's why you're here right now.
Both teams can look back at opportunities that they had over the course of those 100 minutes, but certainly more set-piece opportunities for Ursuline.
Now, what's going to be really interesting is which Bishop goalkeeper is going to do the PKs.
Well, we know one thing. Emma McCready will be in goal for Ursuline, and I don't care what happens here in the shootout. She's had a sensational game, and Ursuline would not be in this shootout if not for Emma McCready.
You're exactly right, but you can't say the same without saying it about the Bishop Lynch goalkeepers. Looks like Aaron Scott's the one walking out right now. She's a junior, played the second half in overtime.
That's really interesting, the dynamic there with Aaron Scott and Micah McKay, and they kind of alternate games, who plays first half, who plays second half. It was the other way around yesterday. And I made the comment earlier, they're almost clones of each other. You almost can't tell the difference between the two keepers.
And you can see, I mean, it's a tough it's a tough decision for Darren Hedges, the head coach, to decide between the two. So it seems like he just kind of did goalkeeper by committee.
These have got to be anxious moments and tough decisions coming up here for the coaches as they determine which 5 girls will take the PK shootout.
Well, not only that, is in these situations, I always think about the goalkeepers. They feel like an island down there by themselves. They don't have their coaches around them. It's a lot different feeling for those goalkeepers than standing in the line with all of your teammates up here.
Ursuline will shoot first. There's 5 rounds of the shootout, and we're still tied after 5 rounds. It continues until we have a winner. Eventually, we're going to have a winner here. Megan Danko will be the first one to put the ball down on the penalty spot. So Ursuline shooting first. Aaron Scott on her line, dives to her left, but Danko has deposited the first PK.
Good take that time, confident, did what you want. That's the biggest part, I think, in PKs, is deciding where you're going to go and committing to it and putting a firm shot in.
Here's Natalie McDonough stepping up now for the Friars. There's a great sign of sportsmanship there. McCready coming out, bumping fist with McDonough. McDonough bound for Missouri. And scores, going top shelf. So after the first round, each team with a goal.
These two teams just can't help but to be tied, it doesn't seem like.
Well, there's not much that separates these two teams, is there? It's going to be by the narrowest of margins that this state championship is decided. Now Alex Arenas, just a freshman. That one goes over the goal.
What a mistake by Alex Arenas. When you're doing PKs, the #1 rule is to put it on target. Give yourself a chance, and putting it way over the crossbar, not even close on that one.
It wasn't even really close, was it?
And again, you got to feel bad about Arenas. Played a wonderful game. It's always silly that she's going to have to feel bad about something like that in the shootout.
Now McGrady bumping fist with Allison Ganter, the senior forward. Has a chance to go out as a state champion. She's got a chance to give Bishop Lynch the lead in this shootout. Ganter makes the approach, chips it, scores, and completely faked out McGrady, who had gone the other way. It's a great look at it. So Bishop Lynch now leading in the shootout, 2-1.
And this one is a big one, as you see Madison Haley walking up. If they miss this, then Bishop Lynch can win it on the next go-around. So this is almost a must-make right now.
Hard to imagine Madison Haley not putting this one in the back of the net. Haley steps into it, keeps it low, and puts it in the net. It was a big moment, and they relied on the freshman, Madison Haley.
And a good take by Haley. That was nearly stopped by Aaron Scott. She guessed right on that one, just couldn't get over there quick enough.
Caitlin Curtis, the sophomore midfielder, may be one of the unsung heroes of this game, the way she's played throughout the contest. Winning ball after ball, giving the Friars one more chance throughout the course of the day. Now she has a chance to keep the Friars in front in the PK shootout. It's the bottom half of the third round. Ursuline has scored twice. Bishop Lynch has scored twice. Curtis taking the third shot for Bishop Lynch. And it goes wide.
I'm not sure if that went wide or if Emma McCready pushed that over.
McCready dives. I think she may have got fingertips on it.
She may have touched it. Looked like it may have gone wide anyways, but now a big miss for Bishop. All tied up once again.
So through 3 rounds, it's 2-2. Now stepping up for Ursuline is Samantha Chaikin. It's a long walk from midfield to that penalty spot, 12 yards from the goal line.
It's kind of a lonely walk too after a while, knowing what's ahead of you and all the eyes are on you.
Can't imagine the butterflies that must be in the stomach of Samantha Chaikin right now. And the senior knocks it in.
I'm not sure if anyone told Chaikin about those butterflies. That's some confident play right there, just putting it down, hear the whistle and go for it.
Kenzie Morton, a sophomore midfielder, walking to the penalty spot now for the Friars. With a little pressure, needing to knock this one in.
Yeah, with the miss last time by Bishop, they have to kind of keep pace with Ursuline at this point.
This is the 4th round of a scheduled 5-round shootout. Morgan has it deflected away by Emma McCready.
McCready making another good stop. Not the best PK, she actually put on target, so not much you can say. McCready easy foot save that time.
Now for the win. Walking up is Katie Lund. Lund, a junior midfielder, can secure yet another state championship for the Ursuline Bears if she can score in the 5th round of the shootout after Bishop Lynch misfired on the last 2. Aaron Scott on the goal line, hoping to keep Bishop Lynch in it. Lund steps up, fires, and the Bears are once again state champions! What a celebration for Ursuline. Raw emotion on display in Houston at Audi International School. Lund wins it with the penalty kick. And now the adrenaline coursing through her veins. And now a dog-tired team finds the energy to celebrate another state title. My goodness, what a game. Ollie Doss hugging each player. A magnificent performance from both sides. I don't know that I've ever seen a more entertaining girls match than what was on display here for 100 minutes plus the shootout.
That was nothing but great soccer. Congratulations to Ursuline. They really deserve that win with the year that they had and really the school history they have. You can't help but to feel bad for Bishop Lynch after the effort, not only today, but yesterday going to double overtime to get here. They have a great squad that's going to be here in the future as well. But you're right, just a great job by Ursuline celebrating yet another title.
Next time somebody mocks a scoreless tie in soccer and they try to poo-poo the game, you just put in a disc of this game. Tell me this was boring. Oh my goodness, what a match. And it comes down to a shootout. And we're gonna have a chance to visit very quickly here with Allie Doss. The Ursuline Academy head coach sees her team win another state championship. Coach, we were just saying before you got hooked up there, I don't know if I've ever seen a better girls game than that. And it was a scoreless draw for 100 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't expect anything less. We've seen Bishop Lynch twice this year, and they're a fantastic team, and I don't think this game produced anything short of that. So It was, I don't think there was 1 minute that I breathed during the game, I'm pretty sure.
Man, we're pretty drained ourselves.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it comes down to a penalty kick shootout. It's a little bit of a lottery, but you got to take your hat off to Katie Lund with the game on the line. She put it in.
Yeah, you know what? She's a game changer. She's been a leader on and off the field this entire year. Even as a junior, she's a special player, and you know what? She's going to college as a goalie, so her influence on the field is quite remarkable. I've never really come across a young lady like her. So. Now,
Coach, you had to be nervous there because for some time you had to play a man down. Did you get an explanation from the officials?
No, you know what? It's part of soccer. Whatever. I totally forgot about that until you said it, but yeah.
Well, so. I'm not trying to remind you. We're just trying to get an explanation ourselves.
Yeah, I don't. I know that some referees come from different areas, and there's a kind of a gray area on if you go off the field or stay on the field after you get a card. And it was just, I mean, me and the other coach were talking about, we were both frustrated together, so it's, I don't know. Well, it worked out.
I can't imagine a game more evenly played, but it seems like destiny for Ursuline Academy to go home with the state championship. You've done it again.
We did. Thank goodness. We're excited. I'm just so happy for them. I really am. So.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Thanks for your graciousness this week, and it's been so much fun watching your team. Congratulations on yet another state title. That never gets old.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Allie Doss, the head coach at Ursuline Academy, coaching her team to yet another state title. Just a reminder that this is an exclusive presentation of Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. The telecast intended solely for Time Warner Cable customers. Any use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this exciting game without the express written consent of Time Warner Cable Sports and the schools involved is strictly prohibited. You're looking at Ursuline. The Bears are state champions, and you saw the game on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel.